was the other one?
A day something.
But we go there okay.
So then we go there okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the news review comes up now, brought to you by First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. And Enterprise Life, no matter the season, Enterprise Life is here to give you solutions that guarantee you the best advantage in life. So go on, live your life and dream big with Enterprise, your advantage. Now, First Atlantic Bank is excited because they've introduced 2 ways in which you can do your business with them remotely. Either the app, the First Atlantic Ghana mobile app, or the short code *442#. You can use either of them for mobile money transactions, instant fund transfers. You can pay bills with them. You can purchase airtime or data from Airtel, MTN, Glo, and Vodafone, among other things. So welcome to the Purple experience on mobile. It is safe, it is secure, and it's very reliable and simple to use. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. Now, a little while ago, we could all enjoy warm hugs from family and friends. We could attend parties. We could hang out with friends at our favorite pub and even watch games of football live at the stadium. But now we're in the new normal. We wear face masks, we use sanitizers, and we keep our distance, even in trotros. No matter the season, you can be sure that Enterprise Life is here for you. We give you solutions that guarantee you the best advantage in life. So go on, live your life and dream big with Enterprise. Download the Enterprise Advantage app today from the Play Store or the App Store to sign up for a customized policy or access your statement and more. You could also talk to a life planner or to your insurance broker today. Enterprise, your advantage. Headlines?
Okay, I'm going to start with the Daily Guide this morning. Tears and wailing as Baumia mourns Sir John. No chance for John Mahama, says Gabi. I didn't fly to the UK for COVID-19 treatment, that's according to the president. And Nana starts 70 million euro hospital in Koforidua. On the back page of the Daily Guide, let's support GFA.
So where's the hospital?
In Koforidua.
Koforidua.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, was that your point, really? On the back page of the Daily.
Just checking.
That's it for the Daily Guide.
Well, the business finance says mid-year budget expectations high. ICU pushes for extension of subsidies on utilities, and Guta wants permanent bailout fund. Mobile money interoperability volumes saw over 400%, and 70 million euros Eastern Regional Hospital project takes off.
On the front page of the Daily Statesman, that story as well about the hospital. Exciting stuff, 600 bed capacity. Akufo-Addo Mahama past records matter the most. Gabi says promises will be less important in December polls. Let's attack the issues instead of attacking the campaigner. And that's it for the Daily Statesman.
And the Daily Graphic says, please warn lawbreakers at registration centers, say cases of violence being investigated. I was never flown out, according to President Akufo-Addo, and Minister's directive to GBC undermines Constitution. That's according to the National Media Commission. And blame political actors for violence, Electoral Commission. And government to review economic targets today. Back page, Fire Guards Koforidua Central Market. That's how you say it right anymore. And Zipline delivers 79,800 medical products via drones.
Okay, Winston. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Central Region fishermen received 300 subsidized outboard motors. On the front page, Finance Minister outlines measures to boost economy amidst COVID-19. GBC's DTT platform brouhaha. National Media Commission kicks against Communication Ministry order. Disturbances at voter registration centers deal with troublemakers. EC tells security agencies. And Get Fund issues 2-week ultimatum for contractors to go back to site.
So, the Chronicle seems to like Proverbs a lot. And so it brings you another one that says, Proverbs 24 verse 29. Do not say, I'll do to them as they have done to me. I'll pay them back for what they did. And this is it. NDC threatens to deal with soldiers' pleas drastically should they come back to power. And that's in reference to a video circulating with where Sami JMV makes that particular statement. Koforidua goes gaga over new regional hospital, and politicians are not policemen at registration centers, according to the Electoral Commission. Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital records 81 COVID-19 related mortalities. That's according to his CEO, Dr. Oheneba Owusu Danso. And back page, I understand if my daughter Olympia Lightning doesn't follow athletics, according to Usain Bolt. And Ronaldo targets more records as Juve closes
Olympia Lightning Bolt.
Bolt, yeah. Ronaldo like this guy. And Vardy hits 100-goal milestone in Premier League.
Okay, my very last paper is the Business and Financial Times. Microfinance companies see deposits decline by 57 million Ghana cedis, $12 million smart metering system to ease ECG's revenue collection challenges, according to the Millennium Development Authority. COVID-19 school shutdown, TV, radio, better learning platforms than online. There's also an opinion piece, 2020 media budget review, my expectations. And I guess we all have expectations about this media budget review.
Exactly. And finally, the New Crusading Guide says Royal feud hits Eastern region as Ochehime snubs Otiboateng in new House of Chiefs structure. 28 communities connected to National Grid, and Akufo-Addo cut sword for 70 million euros Eastern Region Hospital.
Yep, that's it, Kojo.
Right, let's do the online review. It's brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. So going cashless has never been this convenient and exciting. Goyle e-payment system is now compatible with the GH Link, which is the national platform for payments. So now you can use your GH Link card on Goyle point of sale machines to purchase fuel. And the card will offer additional payment options for fuel purchase at all Goyle stations. The great thing is that you can now see every fuel purchase on your monthly bank statement, so you can track and manage your expenses. So go ahead, use your GH Link card to buy fuel and all lubricants from any of Goyle's over 400 stations across the country. Go cashless and protect yourself. Stick to all the COVID-19 protocols in these times. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, Yenara, Yenze. Right, here's what's brewing on myjoyonline.com. Ghana needs to introduce Sentinel approach for COVID-19 testing. That is from Dr. Amwesi. He said that here on the Super Morning Show yesterday. Image of me holding a gun was for traditional musketry, not to threaten NDC supporters. That's George Ander's clarification. And somebody put up a picture of George Ander suggesting that he was wielding a gun to threaten his political opponents. But he clarifies that happened at a traditional celebration. CityNewsroom.com has, don't blame economy struggles just on COVID-19. Tekwe says to government. Special prosecutor alleges forgery impersonation in Airbus bribery scandal. And the GhanaReport.com has, COVID-19 has rendered 500,000 people jobless in Ghana. That's something we'll certainly have to pay a bit of attention to as we anticipate the mid-year review, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Right, so let's get into the details, and we're starting with the National Media Commission, which says that the minister's directive to GBC undermines the Constitution. Now, in a statement which has been signed by its chairman, Iyalbuedu Ayebafo, the commission said the directive by the minister was a form of political control which hindered the two media houses from adequately serving their purpose as stipulated by the Constitution. Also, he said the directive was a direct attack on the authority of the NMC as stipulated under Article 167 of the 1992 Constitution. So the NMC says it is their view that any action by any entity which culminates in limiting or depriving the media of the use of public resources legitimately allocated to them undermines their capacity to serve the nation as anticipated by the Constitution. And thus, the Commission wishes to state clearly that the directive given to GBC and Crystal TV by the Minister for Communication purports to usurp the constitutional mandate and authority of the NMC, and same cannot be obliged under our current constitutional dispensation. So that's just a bit of an update on the petition that GBC and Crystal TV made to the National Media Commission to intervene in all of this. And they say, well, this is against the principles of the 1992 Constitution.
Right, what else have we got?
Well, so we have some other issues, and could you let me just tell you something about, the Jisso Senior High School student? A student who attempted committing suicide, and we're told that a student has been hospitalized after drinking liquid soap in what is believed to be attempted suicide on campus. This was after an assistant headmaster locked up this particular student who attempted to commit suicide with a colleague overnight in his office for stealing the school's electric stabilizer. And we're told that shouts by the colleagues from inside the office attracted the attention of teachers and students who found the victim foaming from the mouth. Well, this morning's news, you had the assistant headmaster admitting that he actually locked them in his office. He says that he kept them there, and it was true that they were asked to take off their, clothes, and was left only their boxer shorts. But they will follow up on that, and we'll bring you subsequent updates, Kojo.
There might be some legal issues we can educate ourselves on with that. So yes, we'll definitely follow up on that.
Okay, so the media review is today, and some people are calling it a COVID-19 budget. Some people are calling it a shortfall budget because there expected to be a lot of shortfalls. It's already come out. For example, with the COVID has caused some shortfalls. So example is revenue target of 67 billion Ghana cedis for 2020. And it may not meet it already, we're being told. So for example, when it comes to the oil sector in the first quarter, only 331 million Ghana cedis was realized, representing an 82% shortfall. Then when we go to import duties, 829.7 million was realized, which is 34% below the target. Non-tax revenue declined to 1.16 billion Ghana cedis in the first quarter, shortfall 53%. So already there's some major shortfalls in revenue and money that we were expecting, and of course we spent so much more because of COVID-19 and the measures that the government took to be able to support people. So I mean, we're very interested to see how that pans out, and really to see how those gaps are going to be bridged and how it's actually going to affect us moving forward. Because if we're not making as much money as we thought we should, then something is going to have to give. Is it going to come from our pockets when already our pockets are suffering because of COVID-19? Is the government going to have to go and borrow more? And what does that mean, for the economy long term? So there are lots of, moving parts around this budget. Very, very interesting one it will be to see. It's also this administration's well, there's a large budget before the election. So there's also the election budget.
Absolutely.
So
it's suddenly these are the rare occasions on which the media review is actually more important than the annual budget. Seth Tekwe, former Minister for Finance, he says that we ought to keep our eyes open because it wouldn't be right for the government to use COVID-19 pandemic to mask a deteriorating economy. So he thinks there's more going on beyond just COVID-19 that would explain our figures. And I want to quote him. He says that I'm not downplaying COVID-19. I need to be very clear on this, but I'm saying that a lot was happening already. Okay, and the government notably said, by the way, I'm reading from an article on citynewsroom.com. The government notably said the pandemic would cost the state over 9 billion Ghana cedis. But Mr. Tekwe is saying that this will only account for about 10% of Ghana's budget deficit.
Well, it's interesting because, yes, in March...
We have a budget deficit of 50 billion Ghana cedis?
No, our budget deficit, when the finance minister presented the budget last year, was anticipated to be 18 billion.
Right.
So basically, I mean, we had a total expenditure of 85 billion Ghana cedis, and we're going to be raising 67 billion domestically. What means is that a remainder would have to be borrowed, and that would amount to the budget deficit. So that was 18 billion. But that has definitely changed after we're hit with COVID-19. It's one of those things that the finance minister would be telling us. But when he presented the COVID-19 plan to Parliament in March, he talked about the need to borrow an additional 11 billion. So that would mean that we're increasing our budget deficit to about 29-30 billion Ghana cedis. We want to know, I mean, that was the plan he made to Parliament in March. Has anything changed in July?
So I asked this question because Mr. Tekwe suggests that this 9 billion makes up about 2 of the 10% of 2 out of about 10% of Ghana's budget deficit. I don't know if that you get.
So I get where you're coming from, because there's been Mr. Tekpe has relied on some documents that government presented,
right,
and said that the budget deficit in the country is more than what has been reported by government.
Well, Mr. Tekpe will join us.
Yes, he'll join us
on the show. So we'll ask him to clarify that. All right.
We certainly would clarify that, because the point has been made that government normally doesn't add the expenditure on the financial sector reforms to our debt stocks, so it doesn't affect our deficit. And Mr. Tekpe thinks that should be affecting the budget deficit. There's a whole debate, and IMF has come out to say, well, there's nothing wrong if we choose to do it that way, but hey, around this time we would come to this. But anyone makes a point about this being an election budget, of course. The 2020 budget itself was supposed to be an election budget. We talked about the year of roads. What is going to happen now is that we're presented with an opportunity to review some of the estimates that we had, and also if we have additional funding, we'll come up with a supplementary budget. It looks like the finance minister will be seeking additional funds. He's talked about the need to actually provide some of benefits for the unemployed. We'll come back to that later. Absolutely.
Mr. Tekpe will join us, so Professor Peter Quote, and we will certainly seek to anticipate what this media review will touch on. That's all to come on the Super Morning Show. Right now, though, it's exactly time for us to bring you the BBC News, and it follows these